Okay, so now we are starting this lab, which is actually analyze text, in which we are actually going to analyze text using Azure AI Language Service. Remember, in this particular lab, we are not going to create a full Azure AI multi-tenant service. It's actually going to be not a multi-service account, but in spite of that, we are going to create a language service. So I'm going to click on create resource, and as it is mentioned in the first instruction steps, that we have to go for AI plus machine learning, and there is a standalone language service which is available. Now you can use Azure AI service multi-service account also, but we are going to use the language service because we are following the strict instructions. Now we already opened portal. Now we are creating Azure AI Language Service, and inside that they are just showing me that in this service right now you can just continue to create your resource. Now I just want to add one thing, that these are the default features of the language service, and somewhere text analysis is actually part of that. Now we are going to do some of these features and we are going to use them in our code. Now if you want to additionally use some custom features like custom question answering or custom text classification kind of things, then you have to tick mark and you have to select this additional resources. We are going to use this custom resources in our coming labs, but right now we don't need that, so I'm just going to click on continue to create your resource. Is asking me to choose my same subscription and the resource group, as well as I am going to choose the same region, which is maybe East US. I'm going to provide a name. This is some name, language service with some number, and then I'm going to select pricing tier, which can be free as well as standard. Now because it's showing me that free is also going to work with this, I'm going to choose free account, and then I'm going to agree for the responsible AI notice. We'll click on review plus create, and then I think we are done with this first initial steps. Once the validations are done, we are going to click on create. Okay, our deployment is completed. We'll click on go to resource group, and then we are going to click on our language service. So this is our language service. Obviously, because if we want to connect this service with our application code, we need to have our endpoints and key available with us. So we'll click on keys and endpoint, and these two things are going to be useful in our code. Now let's move forward to the next step, which is prepare to develop an app in your Visual Studio Code. So we are going to open our Visual Studio Code. And as usual, we are just going to clone this repository. Selecting Git clone, providing the URL. This is the official Microsoft GitHub URL. You can also use the same URL and you can clone the same repository if you want. Same folder is fine. Okay, the repository is cloned. I'm going to expand the lab files, inside which we have to go for analyze text, which is the first sample itself, C#, and then inside this we have text analysis. Now this is our sample application, and the first thing which we have to check is app settings.json, because this is a file where we actually have to change our endpoint configuration. Now in this instructional steps, they are just asking me to add the package first. So let me just open this text analysis in the integrated terminal. We'll start the installation of this package so that while this is happening, we can just go and change the endpoint as well as the key. Hey guys, sorry for interruption. My name is Maruti and I'm here to make a very important announcement. I hope you are liking our videos and you're doing a continuous learning with us on an Azure Cloud and AI related topics. If you are enjoying this thing, I'm going to announce skilltech.club, which is our upcoming website, which is going to be launched very soon. We are here to tell you one thing, that everyone who is a subscriber of this particular channel will get Azure Cloud and Azure AI related certification courses free of cost in skilltech.club. So you will be a part of the skilltech.club kind of a membership automatically free of cost. And everyone who's a subscriber of this particular channel will get those benefits which are available in that. So what are you waiting for? I request you to please subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends and families if they are also interested in Azure Cloud and AI learning. That's it from my side. Now you can carry on with your learning. Thank you. Yes, terminal is successfully loaded. I'm just going to execute this command. Okay, my cursor was at the wrong place. I think I have to click here and then I have to click on the T. The command is executing. Yes. And now while this is happening, let's just take our endpoint and a key. So I'm going to copy the endpoint. I'm going to paste it here. And same for the endpoint key, which is this. I'm going to save this, and I think package is also installed, so these steps are done. We are moving forward. Endpoint and key both are already there. We have saved the configuration file, and this is the time we have to focus on text analysis program.cs. So let's open program.cs. Now, because it's using SDK kind of a code right now, so text analysis is actually going to ask for the namespace first. We have to add two namespaces, which are Azure as well as Azure AI Text Analytics. We added both of them. After this, we have a main method in which we are just having a try block, which is trying to read the configurational endpoint and key, which we have provided inside app.setting.json. After this, we have to create a client endpoint so that we can just use it. For that, we have a code in the step number 7, which is going to create a client using the endpoint and key. And this is the same code which we have seen in the other lab samples also. So this is fine. I don't think I need to explain this. This is just going to create a client. And then using that client, we are actually able to use text analysis service. Now, if you check right now, it's a simple logical code where we are trying to get data from this particular reviews folder, and then inside that we have to take all the text files. Now, just for your kind of information, the reviews folder is here, and we have actually 5 different reviews inside that, and these reviews are actually in different languages. And you can see right now, this is one review which is posted on certain date, and then it's in English, as well as this is something which is another one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. You can see 4 are actually in English. The 5th one is actually in a different language, which is actually French. Now, these reviews we are going to provide inside this particular logical code because we are passing that, and then we are specifying that all the text file we have to go through. We are putting a logic inside the for each loop. For each text file is going to read it till the end, and then whatever text which we are getting from that, we have to associate that text with this kind of a logical code. Now, we are actually going to implement 4 logical code. First, we want to detect the language of that text. Then we want to get the sentiment of that text, which is like it's positive, negative, or mixed. We want to get the key phrases which are used inside that review, and as well as we want to get entities as well as linked entities. I'm sure you understood this logical components of text analysis because you have gone through the video concepts previously. Now, this lab is actually going to use all 5. So let me just put the code for each one of them there. I think we are just going to put it here for detect language first. Then I'm going to select for get sentiment. Now, you can do this thing one by one, and then you can run this also. I am just going to do this thing in one shot to save my and your time. Even the code is also very simple. We are just trying to invoke specific methods for that. You can see using the client instance, we are calling a method which is detect language. Same way, using a client instance, we are calling a method which is analyze sentiment. This is one of the simplest code I have ever seen in AI-based application development, because all you're doing is you're just trying to call the predefined method and you're passing a parameter inside that. You can try this thing with your own customized logic if you want. After this key phrases, we have to go for entities. And then once we have entities, we have to go for linked entities, which is actually going to give me, yes, it's actually going to get the link based on the Wikipedia links actually. So all these things are fine. I'm just going to save this document, or I think before that I just have to format this document, and once that is done, I'm going to save the document. Now, once the logic is actually successfully saved here, we are just going to check whether this is working or not. So till this point we are done. Let's run this application and let's check if it is working fine. I'm going to this, I'm going to specify .NET run, which is a command to run this application. Let's wait. Yes, I think now it has started showing me the answers. Now it's going to go through all the documents, so the output is going to be lengthy. We need to understand this output step by step. Let me just scroll up. Yes. Now you can see that this is review1.txt, which is the first file. They are showing me the review, and then after that they are actually detecting English language. The sentiment is positive. It's maybe because they are specifying some words like good service, great location, something like that. Is also identifying the key phrases like this is for the Royal Hotel, and then is also focusing on some other terminologies like city name London or something like that. And then we have entities where they are specifying staff, Royal Hotel, London, UK. All these are entities, and these are actually locations. These are person type entity. This is a date time. This is a skill. So they're taking Indian as a skill, something like that. And then fish is a product. So maybe these kind of things they are actually trying to identify in the entities. And then if there are a few entities which are actually having confusion with other things, then they are just giving you the links associated with that. So it's showing you good music. Then what is the good music? It's actually going to be mentioned in this Wikipedia link. Same way, London, you don't know what is London, you don't know what is India. They're actually specifying those things in this Wikipedia link. Same for the other documents like review2, review3.txt. And if I scroll down to, I think, the last review, which is review 5, you can see it's detecting that the language is French, and it's showing me that sentiment is positive for this. It's showing me the key phrases, entities, and link entities associated with that. Now, all these things are actually showing me that text analysis service is working fine. At the end of this, we have to clean up resources, which I will do. I hope you understood this lab, and don't forget to go through the Git repository. And not only text analysis, you can actually try other labs also, which are available inside this. So you can try those things with your language service. Thank you so much. Happy learning.